This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Entertainment Hour here on the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I'm your host, Dragon Viper, and alongside me is my co-host, Chris P. Bacon. How you doing today, Chris?
Doing good. Glad to be back. We've been off for a few weeks, and glad to be back. So much to talk about, and hope you guys enjoy.
Yeah, you're right. It's been a few weeks. Been a busy few weeks with we went traveling down to San Francisco and just a lot going on. So glad to be on tonight. And yeah, so anyway, and glad to be doing this. As we start off all the time, every week, we talk about the shows here on Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. So if you want to go ahead and start off on that.
Yeah, so tonight's Entertainment Hour. Tomorrow we'll have On Deck with me, James, and Big B. MLB season's around the corner, so we'll probably be doing predictions and latest news around baseball. Sunday's going to be Between the Ropes. A lot to talk about there in wrestling. Depending on the brand you like and all that. So we have that. Monday is C2C at night with Callan. You also have Big B on Tuesday with Tim for C2C Rankum. And then I think that's pretty much all the shows we have covering the week right now. But I'm sure there's more shows coming soon. So.
Oh yeah. All right. All right. And just keep your eye on Coast to Coast Entertainment Network and catch all the shows. And we have Gene Carlson saying hi, y'all. Hi, Mom. How's it going? I know it's been a couple weeks, but she finally gets to watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
And then so we're gonna start off with some celebrity news. I couldn't really find anything pertaining to news. I mean, we did have a few what was it? Deaths in the celebrity world, but one that I wanted to make notice of it happens to be Gene Hackman. One of the
that's a crazy story.
Yeah. I haven't really fully read about the whole passing away with because he passed away along with his wife and their dog on February 26th. I really hadn't actually seen the full story on it, but I do know that there was one thing I read about their dog. Supposedly their dog was had passed, according to autopsy. I guess their dog had passed away before they did because it was they hadn't fed it or something, according to what the news is saying. So either they passed away before the dog or the dog passed away before them. But according to autopsy for the dog, they said that dog had been starving and hadn't eaten anything, and the stomach was empty and everything else. So, but anyway, so he was 95, which I was kind of shocked about that age.
So,
And then
so
and
go
his
ahead.
wife, huh?
Oh, I was gonna say he died. His cause of death was a heart disease. Wife died of hantavirus days earlier.
Wow, that's just crazy.
Yeah.
But so it's sad that it happened. But anyway, yeah, he was 95, she was 64. So I mean, that's I just wanted to bring that up. And then we have the other thing that I wanted to bring up was, so Will Smith. Everybody knows Will Smith, whether if it's by being a singer, by being an actor, by both. Well, Will Smith is actually, after 20 years, dropping a new album. He went back to the studio, to a different studio even, but went to the studio and he, recorded new songs. The album is called Based on a True Story. And like I said, it'll be the first album in 20 years that he's done. Now, my question to you is, how do you think the album will go? I mean, do you think he'll be, big time like he was 20 years ago, or do you think that he waited too long to sing again, rap again, and he won't be as big, especially after that Chris Rock incident?
I know he's doing it to get more fans or get fans back on board. I'm not sure if it's gonna work trying to get fans back. You might get some new fans, but that are into that kind of music. I just don't know if he's gonna get the fans he had before.
And Sarah commented and said, "Hey guys,
Hey,
hey honey, I know you're watching right here, but so we appreciate you being on here, and I love the fact that you're watching this and commenting. So, and and you mentioned about him getting new fans, and he might not, and with you mentioning about not knowing if he's gonna have a lot of fans after 20 years again because of the whole Chris Rock situation, but who knows? I mean, you never know. People probably they're over it by now. Did you happen to listen to Will Smith back then?
maybe one or two songs, I think, but probably not all of his songs. No.
Yeah, I was a huge fan of his. Of course, starting with Fresh Prince of Bel Air, and then
I think everybody's heard that one from him.
I mean, I think his song "Summertime" was before Fresh Prince of Bel Air, but I don't remember which order that was. But I've always been a fan of his, whether if it was acting or. Sarah says Will Smith will always be amazing. Yeah, I totally agree. He will be. And then she says Chris Rock deserved it. He did. You don't talk about someone's wife. If someone were to talk about Sarah like that, I would definitely, be upset and end up like, I don't think I'd smack him, but I probably would end up hitting him. So, yeah, absolutely. Chris did deserve it. And with this new album coming out, would you be willing to actually listen to it?
I would. I think it'd be a good album, but I don't know when it's gonna be out. But sure.
It's supposed to be out. I think it said it's supposed to be out this Friday. the
Oh, okay.
21st. So pretty much technically next Friday, because tonight's Friday, but next Friday, it's supposed to come out. So I want to listen to it. I want to see what kind of style it is. I want to see if it's like the old times or if it's something new. So, and then Sarah says, I mean, there are a few people like Smack for I appreciate that. Anyway, so yeah, I definitely want to listen to it. And then we're going to go ahead and move on. I've been trying to do, where are they now?
Mm-hmm.
And then Sarah says, obviously, I'm the violent one. Well, I think both. I'm not going to get into it on air, but anyway. So our where are they now? Where we did, I did Boy Meets World. Now, Boy Meets World was a show from 1993 to 2000. Starts off as little kids, then they go, throughout middle school, high school, college, and then they did a spin-off of Girl Meets World where, Corey and Topanga have a kid together. But the original Boy Meets World went from 93 to 2000. Did you watch that show? I know I'd probably ask you
I
this several
probably
times.
did. No, you're good. I probably did a little bit off and on, but I don't think I've basically watched the reruns. I don't think I've seen like a complete season or.
Okay, yeah, because I believe I have the entire season of it, or entire collection of seasons for it. And Sarah says I love Feeney. Yeah, Feeney was awesome as well. I mean, almost the entire cast. There were a couple that I didn't care for, but pretty much the rest of the cast I did. Yeah, it was an amazing show. I loved it. It sucked that it had to end, but on the other hand, they were getting older, and moving on and things like that. So, and she says Sean was one of her favorites. Yeah, he was one of my favorites too. I kind of considered myself like him a little bit, in certain ways that I'd rather not say right now. But anyway, so where are they now? You have Ben Savage, who was Corey Matthews. The only thing I found from him was the fact that he hasn't been with his, because you get a lot of shows where the co-stars are around each other, best friends. I mean, you've got Supernatural where you have 2, 3, 4 of them that are always around each other after the show ended, before it's coming back on, and they have always been around each other. Well, unfortunately, Ben Savage is one that hasn't been around the others. And he's pretty much retired from acting. He went into politics, and in fact, in 2023, he announced plans to run for Congress. He didn't get it, but he's still trying to run and be in politics now. So he's not so much of an actor. And then Sarah says, so I'm marrying my childhood crush. Yeah. But anyway, official, who was known as Topanga Lawrence. And I'm gonna, come out and say that she was one of my crushes growing up. But yeah, she was awesome in that show. The thing I didn't know is she actually had breast cancer. Recently, she stated that she's a breast cancer survivor. And she advocates for early screenings. And she's also been directing shows like Wizards Beyond Waverly Place, which is a Disney show. I don't know if you've heard of it.
It's a reboot of the original.
Yeah. I haven't seen the original and I haven't seen this one, but I have heard the name of the show, so I knew where it was showing, but and her and Will Friedle, who plays Eric Matthews, and Ryder Strong, plays Sean. All three of them are on a podcast called Pod Meets World, which I didn't know anything about it. So now I'm gonna have to get on Spotify and look for that podcast because that's awesome. I want to listen to it. And that's all about her. Then we have Eric Matthews' brother, played by Will, and I chop his name up, say it, but he's I guess he has anxiety, which I didn't even know. Because when you're on TV, you don't notice that some actors have anxiety or depression or anything like that unless they actually come out and say something. But he has anxiety, which is now causing him to just do voice acting. He's been on a lot of cartoon, movies, and all he does pretty much at this point is he voice acts. So, and he's still doing it to this day. Then we have Ryder Strong, who, Sean Hunter, best friends with Corey, and like I said, I kind of thought I was a little bit of a Sean, growing up. Again, he's podcasting. Not only is he podcasting with the other two, he's also in different shows as well. But he's officially retired acting. He's like 42, 43 years old. He's done in the spot, major acting spotlight. And then we have William Daniels, Mr. George Feeney, a lot of people's favorites. I know he was one of mine. But he is now 97 years old. And then I did a couple ages here of his. He was 66 when the show started, so you could already tell he was pretty up there in age when he started being on the show. And because it ran 7, 8 years, he was 74 when it ended. He did make a few appearance cameos in Girl Meets World, which does show he's gotten a lot older. So, but yeah, 97 years old, still living. He's been married to the same wife of his for 73 years, which is a huge milestone. So I thought that was pretty impressive. And he's just pretty much retired, living in California now. So, but yeah, 97 years old. That's awesome. And then we have Betsy Randall, who played Amy Matthews. The only thing I got was the fact that she was on other shows, and I got that she's now retired. Same with William Russ, who was Alan Matthews' the dad. He continued acting a little after that show, but now he's retired as well. So, I mean, I could have gone on and on and on because there were so many characters as the show went, seasons went on. I could have went and, kept going with actors, but it would have taken up a lot of time. So I just left it at that. And now we've got TV show facts. And I figured, why don't we do, Where Are They Now and TV show facts for the same show? Why not? So then we're doing TV show facts, Boy Meets World. I got a few facts here. You have one fact where you remember, I don't know. I mean, you said you saw a little bit of it, but I don't know if you saw the first season of it. You had the nerd Stuart Minkus on there. Well, they were going to name him something else. They were actually going to name him Stuart Lemke. The reason why they went with Minkus instead of Lemke was because of the fact that they realized that there was a real student Lemke in Philadelphia where they were doing the show, and it would have been really weird for them. So they went ahead and just decided to do Minkus instead. Let's see. And then we have so I thought that was interesting. Then Danielle Fishel, she wasn't originally supposed to be Topanga. They didn't say who, but they said that there was an actress who what was it? An actress that they were going to choose, but she was too upbeat. She was too hyper. She was, and so they wanted Topanga to be a little more calm and relaxed. So they decided to go along and go with Danielle because that's what they saw in her. So she almost didn't make it. And then the third fact is that, which I heard somewhere before about this, and I completely forgot till I reread it. But Topanga, how that name came about was the producer Mark Jacobs was driving down the highway and called one of the writers and said, "Hey, we need a name for this character that Danielle's going to be playing." And so all of a sudden he thought about it. He told the writers he passed by a area where it's Topanga Canyon and said, "Okay, I want the name Topanga." They said that if he had gone down the road a couple more miles, her name would have been Canoga. So
What a name.
Exactly. So they said that if he had went a couple more miles, it would have been Canoga Lawrence, not Topanga. So I'm glad he chose Topanga at the time, because Canoga I don't think would have fit.
Yeah.
So and then Gene says only a few facts, Dragon Viper. Yeah, only because again, there's a lot of facts, and we only have so much time that I don't want to fill the show up with just facts. I mean, I could, but what kind of show would that be? So I don't want to do that. And then, so I mean, that's pretty much all I have for facts. Now, I have a question for you, Chris.
Okay.
So there is a new series, and I was going to write down the other series shows, but I completely forgot. Been a busy day today. But so there's a Harry Potter TV series coming out. And I just found that out the other day. But my question to you is, what other movie would you like to see as a TV show series? I mean, you've got Scream, you've got Child's Play Chucky, and
That's
now
already been a TV show.
Huh?
That's already been a TV show.
What's not a TV show?
Chucky has.
Yeah, Chucky. That's what I'm saying. Chucky has a TV show.
Oh, okay.
Scream has a TV show out there. And right now I can't think of any others, but what movie would you like to see as having their own TV series?
I was trying to think about this when you send out the topics, and I don't know. I know. Well, I guess Transformers has a little bit.
Well, yeah, you have cartoons like Transformers, G.I. Joe, but actually,
Yeah.
I think those cartoons were before the movies. So
I don't know then.
My thought is, if they had to make a TV series, because we all know at this point that they're running out of ideas down in
Yeah.
Hollywood. The filmmakers, the writers, the producers are all running out of ideas. So they're coming out with TV series, they're coming out with even more movies. They're coming out for all this. They don't have any ideas for new stuff. They're running out. So if I think that they should have a TV show series, I think it should be Final Destination.
You won't run out of things to show, talk about.
Won't run out what?
Like things to talk about, things to make, because there's a lot of them.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're even doing remakes. They're doing, but my thought is they're actually running out of ideas for brand new movies that
Well, yeah.
aren't remakes, aren't TV show series, aren't they're running out of ideas.
Right.
But I wouldn't mind seeing a Final Destination.
Mm-hmm.
Have a TV series for Final Destination. It should be. It might not last because there's only so many ways that people can die, and then they escape death, and then they end up passing away later on. We have Gene saying Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Gee. Anyway, and then we have James Gonzalez watching and commenting, saying Fast Times at Ridgemont High has a TV series, but it stunk. Yeah, I didn't even know there was a TV series for that. But anyway, and do you agree that they're doing this? That's the other question I have for you. Do you agree that they're actually doing this, where they're making the TV show series? And I mean, I know they need money, they need ideas, they need movies, TV series and shows out there, especially if they're a lot more coming out on Netflix. But do you think that do you agree that they're doing this?
I think it's a good spin on something, but I don't know if it's a good idea. I mean, it's a good spin on something that's already there. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's just the fact that it's the fact that I think it kind of ruins it that they're doing TV series now. If they did the TV series and then a movie, maybe that'd be a little different. But when you're dealing with a movie, then you're dropping down to a TV series. I don't know if that would work. Sarah says American Pie, Stifler's mom. Yeah. And then James says anything Harry Potter sells and is playing to a newer generation. I've never seen any of it though. Well, no, because the Harry Potter series hasn't even come out yet. So I mean, I don't think anybody's seen it yet.
No.
But I just think let's see the book, and then Sarah says the books are better. Never read the books, and I've only seen the movies once. So James says, I dare someone to come up with something original. Yeah, it's far and few in between this nowadays. So
yeah.
And so I mean, if they continue doing it, I can't guarantee much about it's going to make it big like the movies do.
It usually doesn't. No.
And
it usually just flops.
And then we're gonna go ahead and go on to your favorite and James's favorite. Celebrate birthdays. Let's see. So first off, I'm going to start with Steph Curry from the NBA.
Like 33.
Close. Actually, 37.
The first guess was going to be like 34.
Well, you have been closer.
Yeah.
And then James on here says, has reality shows ruined creativity?
Depends on the show.
Yeah, I guess.
Competition shows, okay. Other drama reality shows.
Yeah. I think reality shows are overplayed nowadays, so
They can, yeah.
yeah. All right, and then I put this guy because this guy was a genius in his time. This guy is a great inventor of all time. Albert Einstein.
I knew you were going to say that. I was like either Einstein or Edison.
Born 1879, died in 1955.
What were the years?
He was born in 1879 and he died in 1955.
I'm going to say 115.
No, 146. So, and then Sarah says, I think the issue is all the creative minds are dying.
That could be, yeah.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, they're all the creative minds and writers and directors and producers are actually getting old and passing away. So I guess that doesn't help any either.
James says 165 when we were talking
about Einstein.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, 146. And then we have Billy Crystal.
Good comedian.
Billy Crystal was in City Slickers, and he was in I don't know why I spaced the movie, but I know Sea Slickers was a big one he was in.
I'm going to go 75.
Actually, close. 77. So he's 77 today. Then we have Sir Michael Caine. Known to be on Austin Powers, especially Goldmember. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
I like Gold.
Yeah, well, okay, so you have seen it. It's Austin Powers' dad.
Oh, okay. I'm going to say he's 90.
Close. Actually, 92. James says Billy Crystal is so underrated. Sarah says 88. James says my favorite movie of his is Forget Paris. I think that's the other movie I was thinking of, was Forget Paris. I know it was a Paris movie, so that may have been it. Then we have, speaking of American Pie movies, Chris Klein, who was Oz on the movie. 94? No, way off, Chris.
I know.
Actually, 46.
Okay. Never mind.
And James says, my mom didn't allow me to watch those movies. Yeah, neither did mine. But I think at the point when they first started coming out, I was a few years away from actually being an adult around that time. So she didn't have she didn't have very long to sit there and tell me I couldn't watch them. So,
Which movies?
huh?
Which movies?
The American Pie movies.
Oh, okay.
Then Sarah says, my mommy didn't tell me what to do. Really? Anyway, then we have singer Michael Martin Murphey, who is an older country singer. He sang songs like Wildfire, and that's actually the only song I really wrote down, but a bunch of older, songs from the 80s and 90s.
I'm going to say he's 49.
How much?
49.
No. He'd really like it for that one. No, 80 years old. Hence, I said he sang in the 80s and 90s.
Okay. Yeah.
Then I don't know if you again. I don't know. I don't remember everything you say that you've seen, but the show Jersey Shore.
I've heard of it, never watched an episode, but I know who they are.
Okay, so she goes by Sammy Sweetheart, but Sammy Ginkola or whatever her last name is, but she went by Sammy Sweetheart.
For 42? I really don't know.
Actually, you're close by 4. 38. And it actually looks like Sarah got it. But and then we have a few WWE wrestlers. Shotzi Blackheart.
Was it 32?
You're close, actually.
Okay.
Very close. 33.
I knew she was kind of an old, well, age-wise, older wrestler. I wouldn't say, like in sports, older wrestler, older athlete.
And then we have Santino Marella. Former WWE wrestler, now works in TNA as one of the top.
Yeah, he's kind of the Triple H spot.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's probably one of the reasons why TNA and WWE combined.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he's. We're gonna say 50. I'm probably off. But...
No, actually, you're real close. By 1.
49?
Nope, 51.
Oh, okay.
Then I don't know if you know this guy. He wrestled in the WWF and WCW. And then he came back in WWF in 2001. But his name is Brian Clark. He was when he came back to WWF in 2001, he wrestled with Brian Adams before Brian Adams passed away.
I kind of remember.
He went by in the 90s. He went by the names Adam Bomb and Wrath. Well, Wrath in WCW, but Adam Bomb in WWF.
I'm gonna say 60.
You're close.
I'll take it.
61.
I'll take it.
And James is saying these are all foreign names to me. Well, I mean,
look up Santino Marella.
We know you're not a wrestling fan very much. So, I mean, of course, they're probably going to be foreign names to you.
Hey, I heard the other day the Big Show appeared in a TV show.
I have no idea. I know there's been a rumor going around that him and Jennifer Lopez have something going on, but I haven't actually seen anything. No,
He was
no.
He was a guest star in a sitcom.
Yeah, I don't know. I just heard that rumor. I haven't seen anything actually confirming that those two have something going on, but I guess there is proof.
Different sitcom, not hers, but different.
But I don't know. And James says Brian Adams, the singer, no, the wrestler. So I mean, there's two different Brian Adams.
Hey, there's a wrestler named Sting. Oh,
Yeah, a wrestler named Sting and a singer named Sting. So hey, there you go. And then we're gonna go ahead and go on to the birthdays for tomorrow.
okay.
First one is from the Black Eyed Peas. Will I Am.
$55.
No.
Okay.
Actually 50.
I should have stuck with that.
And then we have Eva Longoria, actor or model, actress from Housewives and a couple other shows.
58. I know I'm way off, aren't I?
Yeah, she's actually going to be 50. She's 49 today, so James is kind of right, but she's actually going to be 50 tomorrow. And James says J-Lo is known for two things. Yeah, we're not announcing on the air what those two things are. So anyway, and then moving on. Before we move on, I spaced it, but I did want to say that the birthdays today is actually my daughter is 18 today, so I know she doesn't watch this show. I know she's got other things going on, but she is 18 today, so that was one of the things I wanted to say along with who else she was sharing her birthday with. So, and I'm still not old. I don't care what anybody says. She's 18 and I'm still, 30. We'll say I'm 30. So anyway, happy birthday to my daughter.
Happy birthday.
So, okay, and Sarah saying I'm 40. Yeah. James says happy birthday to her. All right, back to what we were doing. Mark Hoppus, the singer from Blink 182.
I'm going to say 60.
Nope. Actually, Mark Hoppus tomorrow will be 53. Doesn't seem like it because Blink 182's first song, "What's My Age Again," came out in '99. So I mean, I didn't think he'd be that old, but I guess he is. And then we have Mark is 52. Yeah, he's 52 today. He'll be 53 tomorrow. So, then we have from Poison, the lead singer, Bret Michaels, which he's had a reality show on MTV and everything else.
He's been in reality TV. He was on The Apprentice.
Yeah, I didn't know that one.
I think he won.
Um,
62.
You're right.
I was just guessing.
62 tomorrow. So you got that one. And then next up, we have the lead singer of Twisted Sister, Dee Snider.
Um, 50.
Actually, he's turning 70.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Dee Snider will be 70, so he's getting up there in age. James Guest was 65. Sarah says her mom is 61 on the 16th. Wow. James says that Bret Michaels was. That's what I was thinking of. Rock of Love on VH1, not MTV. James says I watched all those. And then James Guest for Dee Snider was 67. James says we're not going to take it anymore, which is one of the songs from Twisted Sister. Although I don't know if my mom's still watching or not, but she'd love, when I mentioned something about Twisted Sister, she mentions about them being women or how are the women doing or whatever, and I have to laugh at her and say she's wrong that they're actually men, and so but anyway, and then you've heard of the band Sugar Ray, right?
Yeah.
Late 90s, early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
We have the lead singer Mark McGrath.
58.
You're actually close. He will actually be 57.
Yay.
Yep, you're one close again. Sarah says her daughter is 15 on the 16th. Hey, her star birthday's next year. Because she'll be 16 on the 16th. James says they did put on makeup. Yes, they did. But that doesn't mean they're women, And then the group, I know everybody has heard of the group, the Beach Boys.
Yep.
And if not, then you're not only living under a rock, you're living in sand in the ocean. But anyway, the lead singer of the Beach Boys, Mike Love.
$67.
He'd like you for that. Just letting you know. No, actually, he's turning 84.
Oh, my bad.
James says, I loved Sugar Ray, such an important time in my upbringing. Says he's so old now. Mark McGrath really isn't that old, turning 57. I'm not that far away from it, but James says Beach Boys are a top 5 group for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like a few songs from him, or from them, but
Mm-hmm.
and then we have Jimmy Bayo, who is the cousin to Scott Baio, and this guy was on Bad News Bears back in '77.
What was that last part?
Jimmy Bayo was on the movie Bad News Bears in 1977. But he is also the cousin to Scott Baio, who is also a big time actor.
72.
Nope.
I don't know. Now I'm falling off the rails.
Actually, he's turning 63.
Okay.
And then the last person I have on here for tomorrow, And James, you're gonna say it's a foreign name again because it's a wrestler, but Michael Freeman, known as MJF.
When you
From-
first said the name, I'm like, who? And then you said that, and I'm like, okay.
From AEW.
Yeah, and you might want to get the Don to know him because he's going to be in the second edition of Happy Gilmore.
Is he?
Yes, he's going to portray Adam Sandler's son.
That is weird.
That's all right.
Wow.
30. You might hate me for this. I don't know. I'm going to say 30. I don't know.
You're close.
Okay.
Actually, he'll be 29.
Okay. Okay, he won't hate me too much.
Nope. Although there was that time that, he wanted every single fan in the world to hate him, but
I'm sure they do.
And James says that's a foreign name for me. Yeah, again, if you heard me, I said that it was going to be a foreign name. So, and that's pretty much all the birthdays I have. And then, I chose, these names were chosen out of the blue. I still have homework to do when it comes to the show about who are the top 10 list, the 10 lists are and all that. I still have homework to do. Just been very busy. So I just picked things out of thin air pretty much at this point. And so anyway, we're going to go ahead and move on, as I said, to our 10 or less list. And for the actor, it is Josh Hartnett. So if you have, yours written down, go ahead and.
Yeah, let me get it up. 1 second. Let's see. There you go. You said John Hartman?
Josh.
Let's see.
Josh Hartnett.
Okay, Josh. Okay. We have Hollywood Homicide, Wrath of Man, Oppenheimer, Sin City, Pearl Harbor, Lucky Number 7 or 11,
11.
Black Hawk Down. That's all I got.
All right. Yeah. I didn't. Yeah. I especially liked. Which I forgot he was in Black Hawk Down. But yeah, really good actor. I really enjoy his acting. But we have or for my list, The Faculty. Let's see, and then have Pearl Harbor. 40 Days, 40 Nights. And Hollywood Homicide was a really good one. And then Lucky Number 11, especially with Morgan Freeman in it. I really enjoyed that movie. And then it's one of those issues where I actually had picked a name and didn't even watch like 10 movies of his. Although I like his acting, I really do. I need to really watch more of them. But and then Oppenheimer was another one I believe I saw. There is one coming, or there is one that is out right now on Netflix, and it's called Fight or Flight. And I guess Trap is another one that's on Netflix, and I kind of want to watch those because like I said, I want to watch a little more Josh Hartnett movies. I really like him. I like his acting. I think in Pearl Harbor, him and Ben Affleck did really well in it. I mean, yeah. But anyway, I think he's a really good actor. I should really watch some more of his movies. Oh, and the movie O, by the way. That was another good one with Julia Stiles. Yeah, Julia Stiles. So anyway, and that's my list. James says all the girls loved him. Yeah, he's a nice, a good looking guy, and again, a really great actor. And James says, where'd he go? He's still acting. So I mean, I just said a couple of the movies that's new. But he's been pretty much trying to be a dad at this point. And then James says Annapolis. So, but yeah, definitely gotta watch a little more Josh Hartnett movies. And then the next one is Kate Blanchett. Now, I don't know why I even thought of that name. I I was actually in training for my job, and my trainer just happened. For those that don't know, Ace, one of the main guys that does the sports shows on here, and things like that. He's a trainer to where I work, so I was talking with him, but yeah, I ended up coming up with Kate Blanchett movies. Again, just out pulling names out at this point till I can go through and do my homework and go through all those lists. But I mean, go ahead and say your movies there, Chris.
Yeah. So Kate Blanchett. I have Carol, Blue Jasmine, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, Elizabeth, um, Notes on a Scandal, and Don't Look Up.
Next, besides our, I don't think I've even seen any of those, honestly.
You have
I have Ocean's 8. And here's the weird thing: I didn't watch the original Thor movie, but Thor Ragnarok, or however you pronounce it, I did happen to watch that, and she was good in that one. I happened to watch and liked her in Red. Yeah, the Hobbit, Lord of the Ring movies, I actually did not see. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, I did like her in that one. She was in Hot Fuzz, which she was uncredited in, but she was actually in that movie. The Aviator with Leonardo DiCaprio. She was in that one that I liked. And then Bandits. She was good in that. And then Eyes Wide Shut. She was uncredited on there, and she was a voice of somebody, I guess, behind one of the masks. She was good in that one. I didn't care for the movie because it creeped me out, especially when I was like, 16. I think I was like, no, I was maybe a little younger than that. I think I was like 14 or 15 when I was actually allowed to go into the theaters and watch that movie. And that movie definitely was not meant for somebody under the age of 18. So, but yeah, and that's pretty much all I have for Kate, because I honestly hadn't seen much more with her in it. Many more movies with her in it. And then the last thing we're going to talk about is the 10 or less for Three Doors Down. Now, I think we've done this, but I went ahead and again did it anyway. James says Three Doors Down for me, Let Me Go. Yeah, that's a good song. He also says When I'm Gone, Kryptonite, Here Without You, It's Not My Time, Let Me Be Myself. That's what's on his list. So
Okay.
and what do you have for your list?
I have for mine. For mine, I have. Okay, I have Kryptonite, Here Without You, When I'm Gone, uh, Be Like That, It's Not My Time. Uh, let's see, Duck and Run. That's all I got.
Okay, that's a good list. And see, um, I agree with you on a few of those. You and James. I mean, I really enjoy like Kryptonite, When I'm Gone. That's actually one of my favorites from them. Um, I like Here Without You. It's Not My Time. Let Me Be Myself, just like James said. Um, I also liked. I wrote this down, and it's hard to read my freaking handwriting. But um, I mean, there was a lot of Three Doors Down songs that I like. But again, Here Without You is a great one. But I'd have to say When I'm Gone is one of my favorites from them. I think Kryptonite was a little overplayed. Um, and I don't know if it's. I mean, have you seen the video for it for Kryptonite?
Maybe a long time ago, not recently.
Yeah, it would have to be back in 2001, I believe. I'd have to look that up. No, 2000. So I was close. Yeah, it was definitely a kind of an overplayed movie. So let's see. And James says, I never have, I will soon. I don't know what he's talking about, but
Maybe from
um,
the. Maybe what you were just saying. Did you see the um Kryptonite music video? Maybe that's what
and
he's talking
so
about.
yeah. Anyway, so
Yeah.
yeah, the music video. Yeah, I never have. I will soon. Yeah, that was a good video though. So I mean, it wasn't a good video, but it was. Oh, like I said, overplayed song, and yeah, I don't know if the video kind of annoyed me, but it was okay, I guess. But anyway, I think that's pretty much all we've got for tonight. We are actually over the hour mark,
That's
so
okay.
I think we did pretty good for tonight.
I think so too.
Um, huh?
I think so too.
Yeah, so I will find time at work this coming week to do my homework and go through these and do what I'm supposed to do. So probably while I'm at work while everybody's asleep. So anyway, is there anything else you'd like to add or last words for the night?
Thanks everyone for watching, tuning in. On deck tomorrow, probably give our predictions for the 2025 baseball season. Just looking at things online for the Rangers, it's not looking. I mean, you gotta be optimistic a little bit, but things aren't looking too bright, I guess, with some injuries. We'll talk about that, but Tune in for that tomorrow.
Thank you, Chris. I should get back into baseball and watching baseball, but I don't know. I mean, I used to watch baseball as a kid, and I used to like the Cubs a lot. But I don't know. I grew up and I'm more into football now than I am baseball. But I might get back into it. I don't know. I mean,
Cubs will be
definitely not going to be like J Mac and Ace, who really like the Braves. So.
Cubs will be playing. I want to say either Monday or Tuesday, like 4 a.m. So
Yeah. So anyway, and now that I'm getting a death stare over here, anyway, so I will. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. I hope everybody has a good night and a good weekend. Thank you for watching and commenting. James and Sarah and Mom, Jean. And thank you everybody else for watching. And I hope everybody has a good night and a good weekend.